predicted, and they were right. Okay, 1 minute to begin. I'm set for us to go live on YouTube. This is something I need to teach clubs to do so they can start on their Facebook page also. So we can start getting members in the seat. 1 minute. Okay. Okay, we are live on YouTube. All right, then it is now 8 o'clock. And let me put this to start. And let me second here. Accept. And we will now begin. 1 second.
Get ready to rise, grow, and shine. It's Speak to Inspire with Tyreke and Corey. We speak in life, we speak in change, lighting hearts, breaking chains. Every story got to spark, turning dreams into flames. So when the world try to pull you down, just lift your voice, stand your ground. This is where your spirit fly. We had to amplify. Let your voice ignite the fire. To inspire. Lift your soul a little higher. From setback to set up, we rise again. Turning pain into power, my friend. With Tyreke and Corey, yeah. With Tyreke and Corey, yeah.
Good night, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of Speak to Inspire. I am your host, Toastmaster Tyreke Thomas-Horsford, and also joining me as host also is distinguished Toastmaster Karen Thomas, our District 81 Program Quality Director. This evening, we have a very fascinating theme. And the theme is from setback to setup, turning life detours into destiny. And DTM Karen, what could you give us tonight? What is in the bag for tonight?
Good evening, Terry. Good evening, everyone. Many times we think that disappointment is the end, but that's when we grow. And so we're going to share our journey. We're going to share and encourage and uplift one another. We have a very, very special guest with us this evening who's going to share her journey and some insights into this very topic. And that is our Region 7 advisor, distinguished Toastmaster Kim Gibson. And I'm looking forward to hearing what she has to say. Good evening,
Good
Kim.
night. Distinguished Toastmaster Kim Gibson, how are you doing this evening and welcome?
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you so much for the invitation to join your District 81 podcast. I am doing well, though it's freezing here in Georgia in the United States. Can still feel the warmth coming through the YouTube channel being here with you this evening. So thank you for the opportunity to be able to share some stories with you this evening.
Mhm. Let me start out with this question, and I know a lot of us as leaders tend to run away from certain questions. So, how uh, do life deter refine a leader more effectively than success ever could?
Oh,
Uh,
I'm going to treat this like table topics, and you're asking me a speech. And for those on YouTube who might not be a member of Toastmasters, that's extemporaneous speaking practice that we're getting into.
mhm,
How do life's detours refine a leader more effectively than success ever could? Success can validate or confirm you're doing something, but
mhm,
when you have a detour,
Mhm.
It really helps you to sort of transform, to pause. You have to reflect, you have to refocus and figure out. Well, my new word this year is rewire. I have to change up what I was doing because I can still grow in the midst of detours. It helps me try something different. With success, you're once and done. You keep going forward. Detours challenges you to move beyond where you thought you could. I think every leader has a plan, but if the detours get in the way, it actually reveals how you adapt to changes, how you actually can grow into different avenues where you would not have tried unless you had that detour. When a plan falls apart, and that's happened to me plenty of times throughout my Toastmasters leadership, even in the club level, where you have this plan and you know it's going to work and it doesn't work. Well, we learn how to listen to others whom we might have shared that plan with. You learn how to pivot back and forth or be more flexible. And then you can lead from a place, I want to say one of understanding rather than trying to control everything. We think we can control everything. No, we cannot. I'll tell you right now, we can't. And my favorite thing that I've heard from plenty of other leaders, and I use it myself in Toastmasters, we learn by doing. There are plenty of roles each of us have been in that it's the first time. We might have a mentor, but while you're learning and you're doing, yeah, detours are going to come across your path. But that's where you get to stretch and grow and further grow out of your comfort zone. And that's where having those detours refines a leader more effectively than just simple success? Great question. Wow.
That is so true. Thank you so much. I remember during COVID, what a detour that was.
Oh, yes. Yes.
What a detour that was. But many of us, we learned skills that we never imagined. If it was not for COVID, we would not be here now, probably.
Probably. I learned Zoom during
Yeah,
COVID.
thank you.
I
Thank
had
you.
no idea about Zoom at all.
And in learning about Zoom, many Toastmasters, I don't know about across the world, but I know that in Jamaica, many of us, when we started to learn Zoom, we are the ones who took it into the workplace
Wow.
when our organizations had to do meetings and said, oh, I've got an answer for that. I know what to do. Sometimes we were half a step ahead. But as you said, we pivoted and we were able to use Zoom. When COVID came, I was part of a tourism organization. So, everything stopped. We were an island-wide organization. We needed to meet. Our members needed to meet in order to have a response and formulate what we were going to do and how we were going to address it.
Mhm.
And had it not been for the few little skills that I had been learning on Zoom, and I was able to go and say, we can do this,
Mhm.
and this is how we're going to do it, and run it. And yes, got help, a little help from others who knew what they were doing. And that is how we navigated and were able to. And so many Toastmasters across the Caribbean and across the world have similar stories. I think people have created careers just because of that setback, because it just depends on what is our mindset.
Mhm.
Are we going to fold our arms, sit down and say, woe is me?
No.
Or are we going to step forward boldly?
I
Mhm.
agree. You
Yes.
have to step forward boldly. You cannot sit on your laurels. I mean,
Yep.
you just gave a perfect example of where you learned something in Toastmasters and took it outside of the four virtual walls, if you will.
Yes.
That's what we're supposed to be doing, not keeping it all to ourselves in this one little cocoon. Take what you
Absolutely.
learn in Toastmasters and take it outside to wherever you need it,
Yep.
wherever. Yes.
So true.
Because sometimes, as I said, I used to say to DTM, kind of like, people always believe, oh, I'm gonna die in the position. And it ain't gonna go. That's not how leadership is. In
No.
order for you to grow, we all must decide who am I passing the baton on to?
Ooh.
May not be somebody I want to pass it on to, but somebody has to continue the work. And I've always said that, somebody has to continue. I can't keep the position of division director forever. I
Mhm.
can't keep the position of club growth or PQD or even international or regional advisor. No. What I could keep forever is my integrity,
Mhm.
the respect I show to person, the service I offer, and the excellent production that they get at the end. And Toastmaster core values are also my goal values. Those are my goals. And I always repeat them at work. I stand on integrity. I stand on respect. But if you ever disrespect my respect and integrity, you will lose my service and excellence. And one person said to me, where that came from? I said, as a Toastmaster, those are core values, but I turned them around to fit my personal goal because this is what I want. And leadership sometimes makes us wonder, am I doing it their way or am I doing it my way?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you question, am I doing it the right way, which is their way, or how they see it, or am I doing it the right way? Because sometimes you can be a leader, but
Mhm.
don't have humble beginnings, don't have humility. I remember a Toastmaster I was speaking about not rushing into your DTM project. A Toastmaster reached out to me. Oh, some of us don't want to studying about our DTM like me. I'm studying about my forensic science and accounting. I said, that is your goal, but I'm saying for persons that are doing it, don't rush through it. Enjoy the moment. And she said, to be quite frank with you, I don't believe you have the qualities of being a good leader. You lack humility. And I was like, I was looking back at the Tyreke that's back from 2020 when I started to the Tyreke, and I said, how should I answer her? Should I give her that version of Tyreke or should I give her this one? And I write back a lovely message and said to her, thank you for your observation. But as I would offer for any other leader, it is your opinion. I cannot do anything for your opinion. But thank you so much. And I will think about it the next time. And they end the conversation. I did not even go any further. I'm like, I'm a leader now. There comes a time when you have to draw a boundary. I have to detour from the detractors. And that was something I had to do.
That is a good point. You can't stay where you are either. Each role that you have actually prepares you for another role. And if you stay in your comfort zone and really don't even try to expand out, the leadership experience actually goes to waste. You're not pushing yourself further than you think you can. You're actually a role model for other people who are trying to figure out a way how to take a step forward. You're giving other people sort of the green light to be brave and to try where they wouldn't have unless they saw you
Mhm,
doing what they aspire to do. And it's just one baby step after another. It's nothing that anyone can't do, but when they see other people taking the chance or pulling in a mentor or even grabbing your best friend in your club to come along with you and do it together, now that's
mhm,
community at large. And even if there is a detour, you can
mhm,
work with people to help you through it and overcome it. And then the lessons learned, they're
mhm,
huge. They're like forever. When I was a division director, my co-division director and I were two different divisions. We did everything together. We were accountability partners. Her name was Sadie, and we still keep in contact to this day. If we didn't understand something, we would talk out loud to make sure we understood to go forward. We were leaders of leaders, the area directors. However, we were trying to find our way because we weren't doing the roles anymore. We
mhm,
were giving guidance, coaching, and mentoring, which is a different way of leading than if you're actually doing it at the club level, for instance. It's just stepping up your avenue and your breadth of how you lead. And there's so many different styles of leadership as well. That's a whole nother story.
mhm. That is so true. And that takes me right into my next question. How can we treat our setbacks as new icebreakers that reintroduce us to our true potentials?
Icebreakers. Icebreaker speech. It's the first speech where you introduce yourself to other people. I remember mine's because I sang. Going way back about 19 years. I still remember to this day. But when you have a setback in life, you're not trying to introduce yourself to other people. You're trying to figure out yourself. It's almost like thinking, okay, how am I going to respond to this? You're uncovering another layer of yourself that unless you had the setback, you would not have to go down that road to even think about how do I respond to that setback? How do I move beyond something? When everything fails, it sort of strips away what I thought I would do. And then I have to be honest with myself. How am I going to respond to being disrespected? How am I going to respond to being laid off from a position that I thought was mine forever and ever, which did happen to me, working for an insurance company. And they came in to do process review, but what they were doing is documenting our process so they could let us go in the end of 6 months. When
Oh
I
my.
found out, I just said, you know something? What am I going to do to pivot from this? And I did with my team the best job we could have possibly do to make sure it was a smooth transition. I wasn't angry. I just was very observant, taking notes. How did they do the transition? I asked myself questions, because nobody was really watching me, but I was leading
Mhm.
because this setback was going to show me how am I under duress when something's not going my way? How am I going to act and respond? And I'm leading a team of 7 nurses and they're looking at me what to do. I tell you, I learned so much about myself that year. And I'm going back 25 years, to be honest with you, on that one. It was a chance for me to rediscover how I am when things aren't going my way. And when I
Mhm.
feel that setback, am I going to rise up to the level that I know I am as a leader or succumb to whatever that company wanted? Oh, no, 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 no. I like you, Tyreke and Corinne, the values of Toastmasters, my integrity goes before me no
Mhm.
matter what happens. My name goes before me. So my integrity goes before me. Before I even show up,
Mhm.
people will already have an opinion about you. And I want to
Mhm.
come as real as possible. And I will never let an opportunity pass by, even with a setback, to say, let me lurk back into no. I've got to stand tall, stand authentic, do my best, and then still think about how am I responding to this and what can I learn from the experience? And then I get
Mhm.
stronger with every trial or tribulation that comes my way because of the others that I managed to work through. I'm sorry, I could
Yeah.
talk about this all night long.
Yeah.
No, no, but you are so correct because there's so many of us have faced setbacks as leaders and even in our workplace. Like, uh, I don't even want to express that work inside of me, but we have a certain particular manager. I do not report to her. I report to the bigger boss. So I would report to my supervisor. My supervisor would be the head of my department, and then her supervisor would be the permanent secretaries over the entire ministry.
Mm,
And he would have under him like principal assistant secretaries. They manage different divisions. And a day she saw me, I said, "Oh, I need to speak with you." I said, "I'm listening." Oh, there was a complaint made against you. And she was and I stopped in her tracks. I said, let me make this very clear. I know you don't like me, and I definitely don't like you.
mm,
We can work as friends and pretend everything is wonderful, fa la 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 in the office. At the end of the day, as long as we get the work done, now I don't have to see your face and you don't have to see my face. We can be the best of friends in this compound.
mm.
Unless it's not nothing related to my work, I will leave our conversation right here. And I said, and he ends the conversation, and I stepped away. She went and she reported me to the permanent secretary. He called me in the office and he said, "Oh, I was told you disrespected a senior officer." And I explained to him exactly the same thing I said to her. And he said, "But you're not in wrong. If it's not related to your work, why is she?" And I said, "Yes, because sometimes our bosses do things to replace us. And the people that they sometimes put there, I'm telling you, they make you question your integrity." Like, Father, They make you question your integrity, like maybe I should have done what they were doing. That happens. And I remember you said in one of our sessions that sometimes our integrity get questioned. All three of them gets they are put on the line, and you are so right.
Yep.
Sometimes they are really put on the line. Definitely telling you that. And I know those Toastmasters that are on the Zoom call, I can't even say. I'm sure they have their respect, their integrity have been placed on the line, trying to understand how to deal with some members. And I've always said to myself, you know what? You rise above them.
Mm.
You can't do anything right now. Just rise. That is back when we had respect, integrity, service, excellence. But now it's the other way around. So I've always said to myself, you know what? Rise above them, because at the end of the day, we're here for our personal growth.
Thank
So when setback invites itself into the equation, a rediscovery of value and vision sometimes makes us rethink, reevaluate ourselves and say, what I'm doing, is it really a setback or a
Mm.
setup from me?
Mm.
Is it going to take me from here to there, or is it going to be a detour that's going to cause me to fall? Because I believe sometimes some persons are just like a two-edged sword. And there was one, my accountability partner, she's a division director Rhonda, and I said to her, this person is getting on my last nerve. She said, you still have nerves left? That's what the district director tends to ask me every time I said that. And she said, you still have nerves left? I said, I do. And she's like, Toastmaster Tyreke, I use you. Even you. I said, why me? She said, Toastmaster Tyreke, I'm going to be honest with you. You are a disruptor. I have never came across any Toastmaster that is a disruptor like you. I said, I'm not a disruptor. I am a leader. That's no nonsense.
Mm.
There's certain things I do not take. And I believe if you committed yourself to Toastmasters and you say yes, and you say the Toastmaster promise, like how I say the Toastmaster promise,
Mm.
as a leader, you come to develop yourself. You're not hurting me, the Vice President of Education. You're not hurting me, sorry, the Vice President of Education. You're not hurting me, the Division Director. I'm here to make sure you fulfill your goals. And if you don't want to do that, you're just setting yourself for setback. And at the end of the day, there's nobody else to blame but yourself. What do you say about that, DTM Karen?
Well, the fundamental thing is that you must have standards and you
Mm.
must maintain those standards. If you have standards and you know why you do something, you're not doing it by rote. No matter the storms, you're going to be able to look and see what the answer is. I remember when my sister and I were growing up, my mother, if she told us no, she told us why. If we wanted to do something and she said we couldn't do it, she told us why. My father thought that if he says no, we shouldn't question him.
Mm.
And one day we had to sit him down and say, look here, there's going to come a day when you're not there. And we have to ask ourselves, should we do this or not? And if the only answer we have is that dad said don't do it, we're going to do it. So, similarly, wherever you are in life, you must know that you're not doing things by rote. If you have a standard, you must know why you have that standard and be true to yourself.
Mm.
Once you are there, it doesn't matter what the storms are, you can
Mm-hmm.
come back to that value system
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to help you to make the right decision, whether it's the popular decision or the uncomfortable decision.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be able to make the right decision. Let the chips fall where they lay. And I'm not saying it's easy, but at the end of the day, it makes your life so much easier because people will look at you and they know that you are consistent. They may not like you, but one thing they can say is that you're honest, you're
Mm.
consistent, and they know this is you and this is and you're authentic.
That's true.
and it works.
It's
Yeah,
true.
that is so true. You are so right. And I know as district leaders, sometimes I believe some leaders try to make us go into a fit of questioning. Why did I take up this position? But we
Hmm.
love what we do so much. We just play it all night. It's like Proud Mary. Just keep on rolling. There's
Yeah.
nothing else we can do right now.
And very often, when you show that consistency, that same person who's testing you, you get them over to your side because they understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and
Mhm.
they see a different way to do things.
That's true. And that's definitely true. Let me ask one of our Toastmasters online, DTM Sonia, you're there still?
Yes, I am.
All right, come, turn on your camera so let's see your face. All right. So, has there ever been a time you have also faced a setback when you were a former district leader or even a current leader?
Well, definitely. When you're speaking about that setback, at the time of COVID, I was on the trio team of District 81. I was club group director.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you, it was really, really a setback because we were going so well, smoothly. And there came April 1st. And I think because of the uncertainty, only about a handful of clubs, I can't remember the number now, but very small number of clubs renewed their dues. Members did not renew their dues. And you could imagine plummeting from almost 200 clubs down to 20 something, 27 in the
Ooh.
first month. It was hard. And no matter how we called, people were saying they were not sure what this COVID was about, what was going to happen, whether people would be losing their jobs. So if you were not sure, you have all those uncertainties in your head, then you don't want to spend a little that you have on dues. It took quite a few months for the district to recover in that area. And as a leader, you just have to remain focused, remain steadfast, and we continued to do the work with the team. Other people came in and assisted, and that's how we picked up again. It was it was a tough time. And it was a tough time for me as well, because getting to that Zoom with the elections, so some of the divisions took it to their advantage. And so I did not even get to back onto the district team. But I'm still in Toastmasters and I'll never give up.
And
Yeah.
that is the spirit. That is
Yes,
definitely
it
the
is.
spirit.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, DTM Sonia. Um,
you're
so
welcome.
see, Madam Regional Advisor, so resilience in
Oh,
District
yes.
81.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. I love to hear those stories because it just shows us we can work through anything.
Mhm.
We just have to be willing to do it. And Corinda, also comment on your tale of consistency. Consistency builds trust. If
Mhm.
leaders are inconsistent, no one can trust you.
Ah, that's true.
They, they don't know which way you're going to go with the waves or the wind. And that's a big thing about being consistent. And once we learn through some of these setbacks how
Mhm.
to gather and be flexible and pivot and do the right thing in the midst of chaos or
Mhm.
being uncomfortable, we know, to Corinne's point, we've made the right decision. We're going to stay
Mhm.
consistent with the standards of either the policy, procedure, governing
Mhm.
documents. That's the bottom line.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Toastmasters or any organization. My own personal life, I have standards. I'm sure everybody here has standards of what you will and will not do. And
Mhm.
the consistent you are, people will trust even before they probably ask you the question, goes, no, she's probably going to say no. So I'm not going to ask the question. But you're right. Consistency, standards, it builds trust. And as leaders and Toastmasters, we have to be consistent or ask the tough questions to gain the consistency and the right answers. Because I'll tell you in a hot minute, if I don't know, let me pause and get the research done, and I'll come back with you, not only with the answer, but where did I find it? Here's a link to the governing document so that you can look at it. And this is the why that we need to adhere to whatever it is as a standard.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
that's most definitely so. And that even ties into my like my four questions, like what lessons can we learn from clubs that turn moments of decline into powerful comebacks? And I know a lot of clubs have definitely has that issue. So what as as a from district lead, I'm sure you went from I sure you came from the bottom straight to the top. Like what were your lessons from those that you learned from those clubs?
I've been in one of those clubs where it was just the two of us.
Oh my.
I'm going back, okay, about 15 years. It's been a while. But we both saw the value in going down to two members, striving to get just to the eight so the club could be in good standing. And the brave thing that we did was we researched and got some feedback, at least from former members, about what was working for them and what was not working for them. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of them said the meetings weren't fun anymore. And that hit us right in the heart because isn't that what Ralph Smedley wants to? We learn best while we're having fun,
Mm-hmm.
when things are interesting or get you thinking outside of your norm. We tend to learn and we can retain that information even more. And that hit us hard. And we realized we were just trying to get through the meeting, just trying to do the speech,
Mm-hmm.
do the evaluation. We really weren't taking the time to do the speech and then give that constructive feedback so the person could walk away. And we
Mm-hmm.
each had examples for ourselves. We had to raise our hands and admit that, yes, we experienced that and we were our participant. So when we stop chasing, I want to say it's just numbers because you have to have a certain number. But if you think about each person's experience to be able to
Mm-hmm.
rebuild and bring in visitors or revisit people who used to be a member, about you trying
Mm-hmm.
something a little bit differently, a little bit more personal that you want to hear from them. And maybe it's a speech about why they decided to leave, which we had two people do their speech. And then when they realized with constructive feedback, they actually came back because they realized they needed some work to be able to really clearly explain their thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so happy that they came to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when we start focusing on what really matters to people,
Mm-hmm.
their improvement, because there's no such thing as perfection. We're all striving to be improved, see the progress, be able to take what we've learned in Toastmasters and use it external. And then it took us almost the whole term, but we got to it back to 10. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure there are other clubs struggling and they're inviting sister clubs to come in and help and be with them to have a robust meeting. I'm sure that there's coaches and mentors who have been supporting clubs. If you're a club and you're challenged, coaches are wonderful gifts that can be provided to you. A mentor is a wonderful gift that you
Huh.
give yourself.
I wish it was easy as you think it is, because I'm telling you, when you go to a club in District 81 and see we are suggesting for you to have a coach. Huh? It's like they think you're forcing it on them. When even as now as a division director, I'm in a club and the president came to me. We need a club coach. I said, you have to write to the CGD. And
Hmm.
then if there's a assessment you'll have to do. She said, no, but you're the division director. I said, the only thing I can do is speak to the CGD. My hands are tied. I cannot go beyond that boundary. Anything else is you and the CGD. You're the president. I'm just the vice president of education. I can advise you as division director where to go. But anything else than that, I cannot assign a coach to you. And she's like, oh, I don't think that's fair because you're giving the president all the way to the board. I said, as president, you are the leader of the club. It would be bad that I'm already the vice president education, still the division director. Then at the end of the day, people are going to ask me, what is he doing? Is he using his division director's position in the club to overthrow the president? And I've learned that as a leader, even before taking up the division director role or so forth, that you have to separate the two. You're a leader in your club And your position in your club is that's the position in the club. You cannot take your position, even in the workplace. You cannot take your position as the boss from up there to trample the little man down there. That's not how it goes. You have to now strategize for everybody. And still, in the same mindset, strategize for your club in a very small manner. So you do small planning in the club section, and on the divisional section, you do a larger scale planning. She thought I was just being mean, but I said to her, I cannot go beyond this boundary. Only yourself, the person that's supposed to be the coach, and the CGD is the one who will deal with this. And she never came back to me. And I've been to her, how you sorted out getting the club. Oh, I thought you were gonna do it. So sometimes when leaders, especially at the top or even middle management city, I cannot do this, is because they're guiding you correctly where to go.
Mm.
Mm.
I can appreciate you guiding and again giving her the rationale as to the why. Because she's the leader of the club, or he's the leader of the club. And to take ownership, to be able to say, we need assistance, we need help. It's a brave thing to do. It's an honest thing to do when you need someone else to come in to help support you while you're rebuilding and having people come back. And it's always good when you can grow from a purpose as opposed to just numerics or someone else can do it for you, but you're going to miss out on learning what to do in this case. Should someone to have the same kind of issue in another club, and then you would be able to tell them what to do, but you're not really trying to do it that way. But you could be a resource to someone. And that's where it comes that if we would just follow the tenets of the process to get the help, then she could in turn be a help to someone else who might in the future go through the same thing and not know which way to go. And she can, hey, I know exactly how you can help yourself as the club president, and you need help.
You know, I love that point that you just made. There was a club last year that needed a coach, accepted a coach. They were presidents distinguished. The president, the IPP, sent me, WhatsApp me today to show me that their ribbon and letter has come.
Now,
And she also told me that she has agreed to be a coach for another club. That is progress
that is perfect.
because she's able to share
Mhm.
of her experience
Mm-hmm.
in a different way
Yes.
because having been the president and had to accept a coach, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-mm.
She can empathize. And I tell clubs all the time, you can be on a high. It's easier to lose it
Mm.
than it is to rebuild. My club is on a high and have been for a few years. 10 years in a row, we have been presidents distinguished. But I remember when the minimum to be a club in good standing wasn't 8, it was 6. And we struggled to get that 6. I remember feeling guilty one Saturday afternoon because myself and I and another member were going to meeting and we'd had so many things due in the day. We were just wishing that today we could have not gone to meeting and we felt guilty because we felt that way because we were taking on one or more than one role. But here we are today with 40 odd members and how many goals achieved already. It took blood, sweat, and tears, and it still takes
Mm-hmm.
that because you have to constantly reassess each year to make sure that you're not resting on your laurels. Last year, we weren't satisfied with, we got presidents distinguished, but we didn't feel that everybody
Mm-hmm.
was as fulfilled as they should be.
Mm.
So we stirred it up and we fixed it, and we have achieved 3 times what we achieved last year, and it's just November. More
Mm-hmm.
people have done speeches and achieved because we've ensured that we motivated them,
Mm-hmm.
because we realized that we as leaders, something was not right. Yes, we achieved it, but enough people weren't doing it for the membership, for the size that we had. And that's what we have to understand as leaders. We have to constantly look at what we have done. You don't change things for the sake of changing, but you have to assess and see. Maybe we can tweak this. Maybe this is not working so well. We need to fix it. And above all, we need to listen to our members.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong in asking for a coach. Athletes have coaches all the time. So
A mentor.
why do we see that there's a stigma? Think that there's a stigma attached to be having a coach. I
No.
don't get it.
But maybe there's a limit. They feel it's a limitation or something. But at first,
It's an opportunity, not a limitation.
when I was president, I remember DTM Ivan was our division director. That was the year before last, and she said to me, "Oh, your club need." I was serving as this division public relation manager at the time. And I said to her, "I don't need. We don't need a coach." I was adamant. But then I called DTM Current to get advice on why I need a coach. And she explained to me, she said, Toastmaster Tyreke, this is how a coach. And well, some of the Jamaicans are going to be jealous, but anyways, that's their problem. So from ever since, me and DTM Current she's like my mom, my Toastmaster mom. I know a lot of Toastmasters in Jamaica are very jealous because of the bond that we share. And when I came into Toastmasters first, I don't remember where did I meet you, DTM? Was it a meeting in Jamaica? I started
Probably.
become I started becoming known for my speeches, and I grew and I grew and I grew. And I met DTM Corinne, and I think she was my evaluator also. I did a speech in one of the clubs over there. And from there, we had this connection up to today. And a lot of Toastmasters that were there long before me are very jealous of that. But they don't understand. That is just me. I have that personality that will make you glue to me without even thinking twice. Because that's just me. I am the person, the go-to person, the yes person. Because I always believe that as Toastmasters, we are to have that connection, not because we're divided by water, we're divided by our nationalities, whatever culture we want to say, we are all still one people, one nation, one world. So, as leaders, we need to remember to help our future leaders because there comes a time when we need a comeback story about how we begin, how we renew the purpose, and not just how we recruit members. And as I said, when I was president, and I said, no, let me accept this. At the same time, I was president of my club and VP head of another club. And the two clubs had coaches. The club I was VP head for came up president distinguished, and my club became select distinguished. And I said, I did a good job. I did a good job as president that I could have gotten select distinguished. And I did a good job to get president distinguished twice for the club I was VP head for. I was VP head back to back. I came on board, and the thing about me, if you show me something one time, I will master it better than you within seconds. Because I'm gonna stay up and take my time and go through it. And in Toastmasters, having a mentor and a coach does not limit you. It does not mean you're weak. You need somebody to guide you, somebody to help you guide your goals. And if you don't have that, then what is your purpose? You're at work, and I'm sure there's somebody you talk to say, could you assist me with this? Can you explain this to me? That person is like your mentor to you, and you don't even look to that person as a mentor. But by right, that person is there to guide you because they have been there long enough. They can tell you what are the ins and outs. Guidance does not mean you are not of standard or you lack the ability to learn. It's just that somebody's there to guide you and give you a little extra push to say, there's the confidence. And that's why I can say thanks to those members of District 81 who gave me that big push. Because if it wasn't for them having the confidence in me, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And I am going to say this, even though District 81 it may be our last, I am going to be, and I am going to be the next international president. Actually, the first international president to come from the Caribbean. And I'm speaking it into being. I want to make it be known that yes, as leaders, we may be young, we may be ambitious, but at the end of the day, if we love something, if we're committed to it, if our hearts are compassionate with what we do, no matter the downfalls, we can definitely reach that stepping stone. And once we have those people are there for us and remember them along the way, because sometimes some of us are growing up and we forget the little persons that were there supporting us all the time.
Mm.
Far too many times leaders have burnt bridges with
Oh,
leaders and then forget that those are the same person you want to go back to ask for support. You're not going to get it because along the way, you just threw them off the bridge. You started kicking them off and forgetting they're the same person you need to get to the next step.
mhm.
So true.
Very
So
true.
very true.
Do we have any questions from any of our persons on Zoom? Toastmaster Sonia, Toastmaster Yvonne, Toastmaster Stefano, you all have any questions for our regional advisor? Oh,
No,
Yes,
I don't have
Division
any question
Director.
at this time.
okay.
Yes,
Yes,
we
Toastmaster.
have talked about about man, mentor,
Mm-hmm.
coach, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you need also advisor, no? You need
Mm-hmm.
sometimes an advisor for the club. How do you define that, the role of the advisor?
That's why you have an IPP. Your immediate past president is actually the club's advisor by right.
Yes.
And if your club does not have an IPP, well, the president can ask other past president to do it, or even a more seasoned Toastmaster that they see would be able to advise the club that have served in the But I know as immediate past president, your role is a one of advisory, just like our immediate past district director. They are there to advise our current district director and district team in what they're doing. So the clubs do have advisors, but the question is, does the club use them?
Mm.
That's the
And just
question.
to add to that, we have a very rich history in District 81. Many of our leaders, even in the club, they have been they retain their membership, they retain their support, they're active. So there is this whole pool of people who are willing to help if we reach out. But very often we don't ask, and sometimes they're hesitant because they don't want to sort of push themselves forward. But if we ask for help, we will get it.
Mm-hmm.
We will get it. So I think that clubs also need to reach out to past leaders
Mm-hmm.
and ask them for their support and
Yeah,
guidance.
yeah. It don't have to be the president, the past president, or even the past. It could be a past area director who's a member of the club, or division director, somebody who has the experience to say, you can try this way, see how it works. Give you a different preview of what you should try. Like it's just Tuesday. I was telling my club, oh, we're gonna try a reverse meeting where the meeting will start with the end and end with the beginning. And they're like, how you do that? I said, if you will see, the evaluations will go first. The timer will give the timing first, and then table topics, and then the speakers will speak, and then the general evaluator will reintroduce the team, and then the president open the meeting. You have to think of new ways to reintroduce the funness in Toastmasters. As VP Ed, I always find new ways. Like I remember I did a all folktale meeting for a club, and persons came on out and spoke about the different folk tales that they know and table topics meeting. Little did my club know it was actually a table topics contest. I just thought it was a table topic meeting. I had official judges, everything there. Ballot count.
They did
Time.
not, they didn't realize what you
I did not realize.
created.
They did not realize, and I said, I was a contestant. I said, thank you so much. And here ends our contest. The president said, well, you said what? I said he ended our contest. She said it was a contest. I said, yes, we competed our table topics contest. Creative ideas. You have to throw them off. Let them wonder, okay, because I put everybody in all the speakers in the breakout room and they were coming in one by one and get to this question. And the president, like she wasn't catching how I was taking place. And I said, we're gonna try it in a contest setting. Listen, did she know it was actually an official contest?
Mm.
So as Toastmasters, and let me say this to Toastmasters and those out there, you can go to the club executive members and say, I have a new idea for the club to try for a meeting. Sometimes as VP heads, we are so dumbfounded, we cannot even think of other meeting ideas to come about with.
Mm.
We can't think of things to do.
Because a lot of us don't enter clubs, so we don't have that pool.
Mm-hmm. And like Toastmaster Tyreke, that goes to almost all the clubs in District 81, almost all. I can. I find new things to like our regional advisor speak about rewiring. I stole that word and use it today at work. I will be rewiring how I do things in the office. And my boss said to me, what? I said, yes. I'm rewiring my progress in the office. And she's like, what that word mean? And I told her to go look it up. She's like, I never heard that word. I said it was the same thing I said when I heard it, and I decided I'm gonna walk with it anyway.
Thank you. You're going to change things up. Who wants to just be bored out of their minds and just be present for something where you know you can get so much out of it?
Mm-hmm.
However, if it's not something that's going to really energize you to want to participate in it, so I
Mm-hmm.
commend anyone who comes up with a new idea or a different idea or doing something totally off the cuff that you never would have done before. It just makes people think differently. It challenges you to walk
Mm-hmm.
through a meeting. It gives you confidence in things that you didn't think you could try.
Mm-hmm.
This is the place, again, in a Toastmasters club to try all of the weird, interesting things that if you have a presentation or something that you have to do for an event and it's new, why not do it at your club meeting?
That's true. Get the
Exactly.
evaluation and the feedback there on how you should do it, how you should execute it. And I've always said to Toastmasters that I say, you can take a work presentation and get evaluated on it. Ask somebody to videotape it for you
Yes.
and submit it. Let your VP do the evaluation or let the VP send it to somebody to evaluate for you. You can gain points from doing that. There's even in pathways that speaks about chairing the event. You can even use that outside. Let me give you a joke. Sometimes people ask me, how are you completing your Toastmaster part so far? I said, half of the things I do at work, I go into Toastmasters basically and see what project they can fit into. And I take it there, I video it and send it to somebody to evaluate, and then I go in and press complete.
Thank you.
But not
Because
only that, not
uh-huh.
only that, sometimes we go to meetings and we speak and we don't remember to look at pathways and
Mhm.
see before we even from somebody asks you to do a speech,
Mhm.
Mm.
go and see what you can do. How
Mhm.
does it fit
Mhm.
into a project? And the thing about it is that it doesn't even have to be a path that you're working on now,
Mhm.
because some projects you have access to. Do them, be evaluated, and bank them.
Mhm.
It works.
Yes,
It
it.
works as long as you keep proper records. So when you need to use them, when you need to apply them, you have it at your fingertips. I've done
Mhm.
it. So that is very true.
Yeah, because you can't have all the and I'm like I use Toastmasters conflict resolution at work all the time. Like I
Mhm.
have a particular coworker, and sometimes the things he says in the office does make you question your credibility as a human being. Why you still living? Like he makes me and then he really make me question if I was really dumb. Cause some of the things he said made me wonder, is something wrong with my upstairs? But then I realized. As a Toastmaster, conflict resolution, we have to know how to use it. We have to know how to give
Yes.
feedback that's not going to be tear down persons. And let me say this to leaders. It's not what you say, it's how you approach the situation and how you address it. So
Mhm.
you might say, oh, but your attitude towards the situation could be what that deters the member. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm not calling the club. I was trying to get some persons to join Toastmasters here in Antigua. And a couple of persons say, oh, I'm not joining because of this one particular person. Oh, it's because the way she speaks to people. I'm like, and who is this person? When they said that, I said, a distinguished Toastmaster. That was the first thing came to mind. I'm like, and this is not the perception we want in Toastmasters. You do not want this for the organization. You want people to feel welcome. Toastmasters is an organization that welcomes everybody, no matter your race, your sexuality, your your beliefs. We all accept you and we're here to help you as a leader. And if we can't do that, then we have really lost the purpose of why we are supporting one another. And as I said, our international mission and our club mission is a support to one another. It supports each other, and a lot of persons won't know that because they only see it as, oh, it's Toastmasters. But what I have to do, members only see it as that. I can't do
Yeah,
much, but you can. You can be that change.
exactly. Exactly. And it is because they only see Toastmasters and they keep Toastmasters in a little box. That's
Mhm,
why they find it hard to do their projects and so
mhm,
on, because they are not seeing Toastmasters and the education program as something that is of benefit outside.
oh,
So
valuable.
I've got to do a speech because my club needs a point. Rather than I have this to do, how am I going to see? Let me see which pathways project I can use to guide me in this,
Hmm.
and I can take it outside.
Mhm.
And once we make that paradigm shift and make Toastmasters work, make pathways work for us instead of we working for pathways, it
Hmm.
no longer becomes a chore.
Yep.
And we find that it becomes easier and we
Hmm.
achieve more.
Yep. You're so right, DTM Curry, because even let me just this for last question. Like, if Destiny had a distinguished Toastmaster designation, what would it what would be the criteria to earn it? Like, if Destiny had that, what would be the criteria to really earn Destiny? If it had a distinguished Toastmaster designation, what would be its criteria?
Gosh, that's
And
a deep one to throw out.
yeah, and I just have very maybe in my mind, I would have well I was thinking I was jotting down some points. I'm like, okay, the mastery of purpose through perseverance,
Yes.
service that transform others, growth in both communication and character, integrity under pressure,
Mm,
leadership that leaves a legacy beyond titles.
that would
Those
be
are
a
the points that I came up with today while sitting at my desk. I'm like, Where this question came from? This question was beating me about, and I'm there sitting down. I'm like, what point can I bring across on this question? But then what got me was growth in both communication and character. Integrity under pressure.
Mm.
Is your integrity as a leader under pressure? If it's not, then you're truly not being challenged as a leader. And I like to be challenged as a leader. Reason being, it makes me accomplish those small battles that I can later accomplish the bigger ones that I know I'm going to face. So I know I might be running for club good director next Toastmaster year, but there are two other persons that are going to run against me. What
Mm.
am I going to be doing? What pressure am I going to be on? People are going to know the others more than I do. They're going to say, oh, he's young, he can wait another time. But at the end of the day, is your character and communication in sync?
Always. Always.
And when people question your character, I remember, I'm not gonna call any names. One person said to me, I would never vote for her. She has an awful character. And I'm like, why you said that? They said she behaved awful with us. And I'm like, I don't see that, but I may not be seeing that, but what they're getting is what they're reading. And that's what I've realized as a member of District 81, everybody looks, there's somebody looking up to you. You may not see it, but I'm telling you, there is somebody looking up to you. There's somebody looking up to you, DTM Karen. There's somebody looking up to you, the distinguished Toastmaster Kim. And I know for sure there's somebody looking up to me because I've had many male Toastmasters that are very young, said to me, how do you do it? Like, how do you have this energy to be a part of so many different and have not burnt out? And I said to them, when you love what you do,
Yes.
there's no such word as burnt out. Yes, you're going to need time for yourself. And I do. I let people know, do not call me from 8 to 4:30. That is my working hour. When I'm in my work, do not call my phone. I do not have no time for Toastmasters. Anything after 4:30, we can speak about Toastmasters until 9:30 in the night. Anything after that, it is my resting time. You have to set boundaries. Although I like to call DTM Karen because me and DTM Karen be on the phone real late, talking. But we're talking and having fun. So we have to question our destiny.
Mm.
Is it I'm just gonna come and do my DTM project and leave? Is Toastmasters another detour from where I'm trying to run from? How am I gonna conquer that destiny? What setback am I running from and what setup do I want? We need to ask ourselves this question. While we're about to transition, we need to ask ourselves, where do I see myself in Toastmasters in the next 3 years?
Mm.
Is what I'm doing in Toastmasters assisting me in my work? And I can tell you, while I was the assistant PRM for District 81, I got hired as the communications officer in the Ministry of Agriculture in Antigua and Barbuda because of my position in Toastmasters. And I'm now being promoted in December to another position in the same field that I am in. Because what? The leadership of Toastmasters has assisted me and
Mm.
show that I'm a leader that I can manage on the middle management level and assist and be a productive leader to others. So don't look at Toastmasters as just, oh, I'm just coming, I don't have nothing else to do at home, and this is the only thing. No. Look at it as something that can transform you in your work, your home, wherever you go. DTM Karen, I don't know what else to add. Do you have anything else to add? I don't know what else to add.
Actually, I think that that's a good note to end on. As I said, Toastmasters is not just for Toastmasters. That 120 US dollars that you're paying every year is an investment or should be an
Mm.
investment in your future. And if it's not, you need to look into yourself and consider why is it not? You are not spending that money wisely.
Mhm. You have anything to add, Madam Regional Advisor?
I would personally invite any and everyone listening to this YouTube podcast. Toastmasters is a forum to help you help yourself and to improve and take everything from a communication and leadership perspective from your place of worship, from your community, your house, your school, your job, wherever you have to interact with people. Bring it to Toastmasters to practice, perfect,
Mhm.
have your personal gift of communicating to others clear, succinct,
Mhm.
and watch where it can take you. But you
Mhm.
need a place and a safe place to practice and use it externally. That's what the gift of Toastmasters is. So I invite you to visit a club virtually or in person. It is one of the best investments, as PQD Corinne just said, in yourself that is lifelong and lasting. And to
Mhm.
Tareke's standpoint as well, everything that you're doing, you're seeing the results in leadership, promotions, because of everything that was practiced within Toastmasters. It makes a difference. I'm
Mhm.
cresting 20 years in Toastmasters, many of promotions and other avenues of opportunity because I practiced in Toastmasters and then took it outside of the club. And I'm stronger
Mhm.
for it. And I'm sure each of you is stronger for it too. Still a work in progress. I'm still improving every single day. And that's okay.
Mhm.
That's life. We're living life improving one day at a time as a leader or communicator. But I thank you for the opportunity to listen in and have this dialogue about setbacks really aren't setbacks. They're just sort of repurposing and redefining and redirecting where we need to go. And
And rewiring.
yes, we're rewiring. That's our new word for 2025. We're rewiring.
Rewiring.
Thank you.
Yeah, you are so. And I always say to anybody, it's Christmas is coming up. Give the gift of membership to somebody that you know.
Yes.
Yes.
It's not, it's the best gift to give, the gift of a Toastmaster membership. I have two persons to give the gift of a Toastmaster membership to. I'm not even telling them. I said to them, I have two nice gifts, two lovely gifts to the both of you. And they're like, what are you talking about? I said, don't worry. You will definitely get them. And that's the purpose of Toastmasters because there's a camaraderie, there's a spirit, there's a vigor. And I'm happy. I'm must say it hurts me so much, but I'm happy. I'm a part of District 81, the best district in the entire of Toastmasters International, Caribbean Toastmasters, because we are a resilient and strong people. I've never seen any other Toastmasters district as resilient as us. And I've been to others. And one Toastmaster said to me, oh, you're from that fancy district. I'm like, fancy district? Yes, that fancy district that does everything with the facade. I'm like, district? They said, yes. A lot of other districts have said to me, we literally like how you all do it over there. And I said to them, that is what you call Caribbean culture and Caribbean people in a movement that nobody else can come close to. So thank you again, Madam Region Advisor, for being here with us tonight on Speed to Inspire. Don't be a stranger.
I won't.
And I know I won't be a stranger either. So you can definitely reach out to myself or Distinguished Toastmaster Current. And thank you so much on being here tonight on Speak to Inspire and speaking about from setbacks to setup and turning life detours into destiny.